Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Charlie, and I want to help you build wealth in real estate. Real estate can be a phenomenal investment vehicle if you know what you're doing. The problem is it's really risky and can be extremely confusing. So I'm here to demystify real estate, and I'm here to help you build wealth. All right, guys, we're back with another video. The last video, we talked about the benefits of real estate, and that's real estate just in general. Doesn't matter what asset class. Today, what I want to talk about, some of the benefits of apartments. Why apartments? And so I'm gonna pull up my screen here. You got resiliency, there's bonus depreciation, inflation hedge, simplicity, and lower cost. So let's look at resilient. One of the reasons that I love apartments versus another asset class like a medical office or some other types of properties like that is the fact that apartments and single family homes and mobile homes, but apartments provide a basic human need, which is shelter, right? A lot of people, if there's a market downturn, if we're in a recession, people would give up more luxuries before they would give up a roof over their head. They would give up luxury cars, maybe they'd give up Starbucks, maybe they'd give up some other items, a gym membership, but they don't want to move. They don't want to get foreclosed on or kicked out, evicted out of their property. So it's very resilient. And so a lot of times what happens is people will pay their rent, right? So apartments are very, very resilient during a market downturn or recession. The next one is something called bonus depreciation. Bonus depreciation is a very, very intricate topic. Not going to go into a ton of detail, but basically it's like depreciation on steroids. Depreciation is just a paper loss. It's not an actual monetary loss, but the government allows you to write off part of the property every single year for what they would consider wear and tear on a property. So that means the building is made out of brick or siding or the roof, whatever it is, they know that that's not going to last forever. And so what happens is they allow you to depreciate the building and write off some of those expenses. What bonus depreciation does is it speeds up the depreciation process. And so what that means is when we are buying apartments, we get a special engineer to do what's called a cost segregation study on the property. So the engineer will go to the property, will divide everything up on the property into several different categories. And the government allows bonus depreciation. So some of those items that would typically be depreciated over 39 and a half years actually get sped up and could be depreciated over the first 5 or 15 years. And so that just gives depreciation. It allows you to take depreciation much, much sooner. So there's a lot of wealthy individuals that buy properties for depreciation, and they buy commercial properties for that bonus depreciation. In many cases, if you do it right, you can actually pay zero in taxes, and it's completely legal. And we have all the paperwork to prove that. The next one is inflation hedge. So the inflation is when costs of goods and services rise. Everything's more expensive: gas, food, rent, all of that is more expensive. And so apartments are a phenomenal inflation hedge, which means as food becomes more expensive, as gas becomes more expensive, cars become more expensive, so does real estate and so does rent, right? You've noticed that if you stay in the exact same property for 10 years, your rent's going up. It's not staying the same. It's not going down. Your rent is going up. And so because the property would get more income every month, every year, year over year, when we go to sell the property is worth more. And so when you sell it, even though inflation has reared its ugly head and everything else costs more, guess what? So does the apartment complex. So you're able to sell the property for more money. And so you get a nice return on the investment. Another phenomenal benefit of apartments is simplicity. And this one's kind of funny to me because when someone thinks about buying a apartment complex, you may think, oh my gosh, there's no way I can buy a home. That's a lot of paperwork. But an apartment complex with 100 units, 200 units, absolutely not. There's no way I could ever do that. Here's why it's easier. The paperwork process to buy an apartment complex is more in-depth than a single family home. I'm not going to lie about that. However, you're still only getting one insurance policy. You have a property management company that's going to be doing a lot of the work. If you've ever tried to get a vendor, like a handyman, to come do a project at your house, if it's a small, let's say $5,000 project, good luck getting them, getting multiple bids on that, unless you just know a lot of people in that space. When I was looking for someone to do a patio that was only about $2,000, I went through 4 people. I finally got one person that did the patio, and he didn't even do a very good job. And because these contractors want big jobs, they don't want a $2,000, $3,000 job. They want a $100,000 job. So for us to rehab the properties, it's actually a lot easier because we get professional companies that go in there and they don't do one unit, they might do 100 units. So not only do we get a better cost from them, they're more willing to do the job and complete the job well. And then finally, lower cost. Okay, wait a second. So I don't mean property, an apartment complex that's cheaper than a single family home, not at all. However, the operational costs are much lower per door. So if you've ever owned a home or rented a home, what happens is typically there's a property management company that goes in there and that's doing the work. Depending on where you're at, they're anywhere from 8 to 12% per month. Sometimes they'll charge you more for every time you get a tenant in there or renew the tenant, and they have other added fees. So realistically, you're probably paying 10 to 14% for a property manager for one property. Well, with apartments, we have a property management company and they're designed for large apartment complexes. So yes, we definitely pay them more than we pay a single family property manager, but the percentage is much, much lower. We also have on-site staff, a leasing agent, and maintenance. So the maintenance person can do a lot of the work without actually hiring an outside vendor. Yes, we pay their salaries. Yes, we pay the property management fee, but the cost per door is much, much lower than it is for a single family property. I hope you like some of the benefits of apartments. There's a lot more that I could go over. Not going to do it in this video, but bottom line, apartments are extremely resilient. You can take advantage of the bonus depreciation. Very simple to do it because you're buying it as a team. You're not buying it by yourself and running everything by yourself. You're buying it as a team and running it with a team. And then there's the inflation hedge, and also the operational costs are much lower per door. Thank you.